Yo, what is up, guys? Your boy here, Mike, coming at you with another video. Just have to get a quick video out before I go to work today, and it's tackling a subject that came to mind, and I wanted to address it. So, this is the best thing about nursing that nobody ever talks about. And this is not the politically correct answer, right? But if you're thinking about coming into nursing, or you're already a nurse, then I think that this answer will resonate with you as truly the best answer as to why nursing, why this is the best thing about nursing, right? That you've never thought about. And for new nurses, well, listen up. So the best thing about nursing is that you only work 3 days a week and you have 4 days off. Okay, it depends, right, whether you work night shift or day shift, right? But you can still make it work. Most new nurses will come into the nursing field and automatically go to night shift, right? Because that's the rite of passage, right? That everybody has to do that essentially when they first come into the field, right? But some people just come straight to days, which is still good, right? Which is better, obviously. But if you work nights, maybe you like working nights, then you can still make it work. But yeah, so the best thing about nursing is only working 3 days a week. So usually you work from 7 to 7, and it that 7 to 7 is a 12-hour shift. So 12 times 3 is 36, and so usually you end up clocking out at 7:45, 7:30, 8 sometimes. So those few hours that you put in after your shift, those will add up to about 40 hours usually, give or take, per week, right? So then that would make you full time, right? Because if you do that two weeks, right, a pay period, then that gives you full-time hours. So this is great because if you have other things going on outside of work that you have to do, like maybe you have your family and house stuff that you need to do, right? If you're a dad or whatnot, if you're a mom, if you have little kids, then this gives you 4 days off with your children, which is awesome. And so another thing is that if you run a business, right, you can essentially do a side hustle that you can do for 4 days, and that way you can focus that time on other things rather than just being at work all the time. Because if you think about it, any other job, basically you have to be there from 9 to 5, right? And some people like that job, but I tried it for a time. I was doing this nursing computer job that I had, and it was 9 to 5. I could only be there about 9-10 months because the 9 to 5 deal was, I mean, 8 to 5. What was 8 to 5? 9 to 5, yeah. It was a little too much for me, you know what I mean? Like I like to get what I need to get done quickly and get out the door, And 9 to 5, I found most of the time you're just wasting time and trying to look at the clock, see if the hour has passed, and so time can really slow down if you're just staring at it, especially in a 9 to 5. So so then it really, that's when I really saw how working only 3 days a week, 12-hour shifts, really was the best thing about nursing that nobody talks about, because for me, I like to work out and I like to travel and stuff like that. So if you schedule yourself properly, right, like 7 days straight. I used to do that back, like the first 3 years of nursing that I did 7 on, 7 off, right? You have 7 days off that you can essentially, if you're single and you're young, right, you can go travel. If you live with your parents, you can save your money. And which is another video I might make about saving money as a new nurse, is that live with your parents, okay? Like, don't be afraid to be there with them. You can always go travel and spend time with your friends outside of the house if you go on vacation or whatnot, right? For me, I found that wasting money on an apartment was truly a mistake. But that's neither here nor there. Like I said, that's a little tangent. But But yeah, so if you really schedule yourself properly, you can really maximize the amount of time that you have off from your job, and you don't have to be just constantly, at work all the time. Because it's another thing, when you work a 9 to 5, you only get 2 days off, right? So Friday, you essentially, it's a dead day, and then Saturday, Sunday. On Sunday, you're already dreading going back to Monday, back to work, and so Sunday just becomes this like a doomsday kind of deal. But no, but when you have 4 days off, right, you can really just enjoy being off and doing leisurely activities. You know what I mean? For me, it was always just working out and going to the movies with my wife and spending time with my kids and traveling with my friends, stuff like that. But that's the first reason why that is good. The second reason why that is good, it is because you get to put in more overtime. Given that there is overtime, right? Most of the time there is. When I first got hired at my first hospital, my director was like, "There's all the overtime you want. Like literally, you can work all the overtime you want, right?" But the only amount of overtime that I could ever do was just one extra day, per pay period. Which, because you'll see when you become a nurse that it gets kind of heavy on you, working um, those 3 days. But I think it would be just as heavy as if you were to spread out that amount of time in 5 days. So you, instead of just being tired for 3 days, if you work 9 to 5, you're tired 5 days either way. So the grind doesn't stop whether you work 12-hour shifts or 8-hour shifts. It really doesn't. So I think 12-hour shifts actually in the long run ends up being better, because like I said, you can essentially just maximize the amount of days that you have off, per week. And so if you want to work overtime, you might want to make a little extra money. For me, for example, when I first graduated, I wanted to buy a house, so I would work overtime, every other week, and that really sped up the money that I needed to make in order to put a down payment for my house. And so yeah, that's the second thing that why, having only to work 3 days a week is good. Because like I said, first of all, is that you have 4 days off, and you can do other things outside of the hospital that doesn't require you being there. And then the second thing is that you can put in overtime, right? When you work a 9 to 5, you can't put in overtime because there is no um, uh, time to put in overtime, essentially, right? Because if you work a 9 to 5, they want you out. Like, they want you out at 5, right? And they don't want you in before 9, usually. But if you were to put in overtime working a 9 to 5, then that means you would have to work like a weekend or something like that, right? And you have to sacrifice one of those 2 days that you have off, which is terrible, I would say. So that is the best thing that I have experienced as being a nurse. A lot of people go on to become nurse practitioners or CRNAs. If you want to do those things, then that's fine. Go ahead and do that, right? Because you do make more money, obviously, doing those jobs. But at the same time, what people don't think about sometimes is that it's more responsibility, and then it's more time at the hospital. The whole time I was trying to get out of the hospital, and then if you end up becoming a nurse practitioner or a CRNA, then you ironically end up putting more time in the hospital. You know what I mean? And so if you only value money, right, your only source of wealth is money, then shit, yeah, go for it, right? Spend more time in the hospital, right? You're making big bucks, but then that also means you have to work Monday to Friday. Some CRNAs, don't do that. Some NPs don't do that. But as far as I know, if you work a pre-op area, if you work with a surgeon or whatnot, if you work with a doctor, if you're a nurse practitioner, you're working 8 to 5, sometimes even more, And like I said, NPs don't get mad at me, CRNAs don't get mad at me, but I think that is genuinely, generally the most common experience that I've seen, And that's not saying, oh, that's the sole reason why I don't become a CRNA. No, the sole reason, that's not, or a MP. No, trust me, it's hard to do those things, and part of the reason why I don't do it is because I don't want to spend time studying those things. I already, spend enough time thinking about nursing, and that's as far as I'm willing to take it. But for everything in life, there is sacrifices. So those people do sacrifice a lot of their time to make more money for their families and to make a living. So kudos to them for doing that, and kudos to you if you want to do that too. But all I'm saying is that if you become a nurse, that's also a good thing. You don't have to go up the ladder, and you don't have to get more letters behind your name. It's perfectly fine if you work a med-surg RN job. You know what I mean? That's perfectly acceptable. Again, you have to value things other than time, and I mean other than money, and one of those things is time, right? Time spent with your family, time spent in vacation, time spent working on your house, time spent building a business outside of the hospital, you know. And so yeah. That is genuinely a good thing, I believe, and I think most people will agree with me on that subject, on that matter. Well, let me know what you guys think. Do you guys really like working 3 12-hour shifts? Some people don't even do that. Some people, like I said, only work two days a week, and they can really maximize more money because they get paid at a higher rate if they're PRNers, PRNers, or with a new ShiftMed thing that I talked about in the last video, where it's a Uber for nursing, where you can pick up shifts just as you like, and at a higher rate, which is awesome. Obviously, you don't get benefits, you don't get insurance or whatnot, right? But if you're young, plus you don't even really need those things either way. And if you're investing your money like in a business or a brand or whatever, right? Then it also counts as saving up, I would say. So if you don't have a 401k, then that's okay, as long as you're saving your money and investing it how you think it should be invested. Because if you get benefits and you get a 401k, then guess what? The Fidelity or whoever, one of these management companies, they manage your money however they see fit in a 401k, and they put it in a diversified portfolio or whatnot, right? And you have no say as to how your money gets invested, and sometimes you lose money even. So but yeah, anyways, all right guys, so that's what I want to talk about today. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Again, go ahead and please like and subscribe. It really helps out the channel, really motivates me to keep on making more videos. Like I said, this is the new resolution, to put out more videos per day, and to really get more information to y'all about anything that is going on, whether in nursing, in my life, and motivation. I want to focus a lot on motivation and things that I'm interested in. But yeah, all right guys, so that's all I got for you. We'll catch you guys in the next video.